Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Um, so I'll go through quickly what I've got in the machine and I'll wait for a couple of you to hop on. The first thing I've got is in the bobbin, I've got the pre-wound Deco Bob bobbins, and I find them really helpful for me because they keep the tension constant all the time in the bobbin, so I never have to change the bobbin tension. I have in the top, I have a Rosart at the moment, but I don't have a lot on it, so I might have to update that. Then I also have, the needle is a titanium based needle, which I love. I think it's a size 80 or 90, it might be a 90. This is all just cotton and it's a double batting because this is from the sample of the Trapunto workshop that I did with the Great International Craft Show. So you can see that's really quite puffy. Okay. Hi Suzanne, how you going? I've started quilting some really, really heavy stitching there. So you can quite see that. You can just see it there. Now, I'm going to move that camera over this way a little. There we go. So you can see it there. It's very heavy, but that will actually help the Trapunto stand forward. Then what else have I got? I'm using my free motion foot, of course. I have the machine set on the tension as around about 5 to 6, somewhere in there. And we are ready to go. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready too. So let's get to it. Now, just trying to make sure I don't knock the camera. Oops, like that. Hi, Bella. Hi, Claire. So for the first thing, hi, Lynette. The fabric is beautiful. I just have to work out which one to get. Yes. Needle down. Whoops, the day's a little bit over in the wrong spot, so I'll change that. Needle down, needle up. I'm just burying my thread because, hi, Judy. Hi, Rado. And I'm putting my foot down a little bit because it's too high. And I'm going to take out a couple of these, or one of them. And Suzanne Shortman, hi. Welcome, welcome. So I'm hoping my hands aren't in the way. I've also got my gloves on. So they're the Marcia Borellis that I sell. Yeah, we're ready to get moving. So I'm going to continue on with some of this free motion stuff. So, sorry, the stippling. So it's really one hand here and the other hand like this. So I have a couple of fingers, 3 fingers underneath and 4 finger and thumb on top. Apologise, I broke my thumbnail this morning, so for the ugliness. And I've got my stop start button just there, so that's the one I'll be pushing because I don't have my foot on, which helps keep it like regulated. So if you can learn how to use your machine without the foot, if you've got a stop start button, it is very handy when you're learning and using doing free motion, I should say. So like I say, it's a small bit of fabric, so I'm going to try and keep my hand out of the way, but I do want to use my gloves, so if I get my hand in the way, I apologise ahead of time. So, all right, so let's start. So fast machine, slow, smooth movement. Now with this stipple, and I know that you guys might go, oh my God, that's tiny, but if you were to overlap your stitches, to be honest with you, no one's going to see it. It's going to be so tiny, they're not going to see any of those little indiscretions. So for those who really want to fill up an area and make the say, an applique puff up, this is the way to do it. Having 2 layers of wadding, I should say, will help as well because it will really make any applique or the bits that you don't stitch stand up and be puffy as well. All right. So lots of little movements. You can see my thumb's just moving a little bit, but this hand is holding and doing all the actual, any kind of pushing or movement of the whole piece. And this is directing. My right hand is doing the direction. So if you need to go in and just grab some area just to stitch down, this stitch is great for that, because I could go bang into there and just do a curvy stitch and no one would know, be any the wiser. I can see Marguerite is on and Cheryl Leeson, so welcome. And you can see that really heavy, it's more like a, I don't know, it's more like a scratchy sort of thing than it is a stipple. They call it a stipple just because of the movement. So I'm going to work around here and you'll see how it really, really pushes it all down. Fantastic for trapunto, but it does take a long time to fill up areas because it's so tiny. So just be warned. Hi Anne, how you going? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well and safe and healthy. If you've got any questions or there's a design that you think you want to see, please feel free to ask and I'll do my best to show you. So when you're doing this too, you really need to make sure you get up really close or right on that stitching of that flower. Hi Sandra, good afternoon. So basically when I do anything like this, I literally create little areas, just an area within an area, and fill it in as I go. Trying not to create any straight lines. If I do, I go back over them with wiggly lines. Good afternoon, Carol. Welcome aboard. So I hope you can see what it's doing to the actual trapunto section. If you wanted to see how trapunto is, if you go to craftalive.com.au, and register there for the Great International Craft Show, you'll get an absolute abundance of classes that you'll be able to go through, and one of them will be how to create your trapunto by machine. And it's about 45 minutes to an hour class, but being pre-recorded, you'll be able to zip through and forward through anything that you don't need to watch. And for $20, you get something like 400 classes that you can watch, and it'll be there for a while. It's very, very cheap, very, very reasonable. And you're always welcome to message me and ask any questions you want or anything about the products that I use. So again, that's craftalive.com.au. Hello, Sue. Good afternoon to you, lovely lady. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out in a minute and just show you what it's really looking like, and you can see how effective this tiny little scribble, which is pretty much what it is, creates such an amazing design when it comes to your applique or trapunto work, or even other quilting, you know. Okay, just cut that off and I'll just show you. So you can see how it's really pushing down that fabric. You can see how much it's pushed it down. Doesn't it look awesome? Now, if I wanted to, I can just keep going, fill the whole thing up and have this amazing looking flower, almost center, and it will just pop forward and I can paint it or whatever. Is it just me or is this sound extremely soft? I can hardly hear you. Okay. I might do, is that a little bit better? Could be me just not talking loud enough. So I can actually now create some other flowers, which I'll do, but I might create them a little bit different to this, and they still look trapunto, even though I'm not putting some stuff behind them, because when I stitch around them, they're going to have, that's going to push the background down. So I will just start here. Whoops, days, get my thread up and out of the way, my foot down, lift up that a bit. Yes, okay, yeah, I think the speaker was just a little bit far away. And I'll start with the needle down. Now, this is pretty much, there's nothing drawn, so I'm just going to be sort of creating as I go. And I'm going to do a funky flower. So you'll have funky petals, and it won't be even, but it'll look cool. I haven't changed the speed. You could change the speed to a bit slower if you want. But I'm sort of used to that speed now. Isn't it amazing how quick you can turn something as basic as 5-petal flower that you would draw as a kid into something that's really, really quite effective and, you know, worthwhile putting on, you know, some sort of, in a quilt or in a bag or in a pillow or decoration for something. You know, that's quite amazing how quick that happens. I'm putting a swirl in the center of this circle, and I'm going to go up into the center of these and just do another like center bit like a loop, and I'll show you it all in a minute. And when I've finished going around all these, I'm then going to do an echo around the whole flower. I'm going to come up here and echo. Down in the centers. And I mean, you can do quilt as you go with this if you wanted to. You know, it's sort of up to you. If you're going to do quilt as you go, you'll need to bring up your threads before you start stitching. And stop there. I'm just going to cut off. Hi, Annie. Hi, Kathy. Thank you, darling. And I've got a little bit of a hairy berry there, so I'm going to trim him off. Right. So that is now the flower. All right, so a little bit funky, but not as puffy as this one. You can still see it there, but it's just not as puffy. If I do that, is it better? No, it's worse. All right, so I'm just going to do that there. But what will make it puffier is by me stitching around this in this micro stitching. Okay, so whether I do it in a little scribble or whether I do it in circles, no matter what I do, it will push this forward. All right, so I'm going to get in the middle because I can see I've got some little gaps in there. I've just got to come in and fill those in. So again, one hand on the fabric and just touch my glove onto it. Really scribble that in, then follow the outline and back around the other side and fill that little area in as well. Then back out, follow that outline, and this is where you can start just filling in around it. So whether I'm doing little tiny scratchy things or whether I'm doing stipple or circles, you will need, if you're doing it micro, to speed up your machine. Like I say, having a no foot pedal on, it's one less thing that I have to think about. I don't have to think about that motor skill. I only have to think about my hands. Which, you know, some days that's all I can think about, is what I'm doing one thing at a time. I'm sure you're all the same. Okay, so trying to make sure we don't get these straight lines. Squiggles is what we're after. Come out. And to travel over the other side, I don't know if you just noticed, but I just wiggled my way across already stitched area. No straight line, just a wiggle line, and that made me move to the other side, allowed me to move. Okay, so I'll just stop there. Hi Eileen, how you going? So I've just done outside this one as well. So you can see, now this will make it very stiff, just to let you know. This is your trapunto. You can see it's really puffy. This here is not trapunto, but it'll look like a trapunto, similar to, because I'm pushing all that background down and all this will start standing up. It'll really push it upwards. So anything that's heavy stitching will push up any kind of applique. Now, that, oops, I unthreaded my machine. The other thing too, oops, it days. Consistency is key. Oops, it days, wrong one. Press the wrong button. There we go. So whatever I do in one way, I need to do in the other. So if I do all this around here, you know, then I probably need to do it all around here. If I don't, then I need to break it up into areas. Then I need to create those areas. You know how I draw lines and I stitch them and then work in areas? So for me to get this to work right, I would need to be stitching all the way around here and around that little fella there and get it all micro stippled or stitched or scratchy stitching or whatever you want to call it. I can create more of these sort of smaller flowers, less bubbly flowers or poof puffy flowers, and take up some space with that, and that's always handy. The other thing too is I can create some leaves as well. That can create interest. I've left myself a little bit of room over here so I can create a leaf. Oh, for God's sake, Michelle, I just did it again. Hi, Julianne. Hi, Robin. And yeah, so to create a leaf, I haven't drawn anything, but I'm going to have it come out from here up there, and I'll do the outside first. So foot down, needle down, and we're going to go out here, up and down. I'm holding the fabric reasonably tight. You will get creases, but that will disappear because we are going to stitch this to death as we do. I'm going to echo on the inside of it this time, and then I'm going to come up the center, out, cross, down, up, out, cross, down, and up to the top, down a little bit, and out. Create another vein, so to speak, down, across, down, and out, and then down here. Now I can see that I've got a little bit of a crease here. So I'm going to stitch that in. A bit of a circle thing going on. Put some circles in there. Pretend that's what was supposed to be there. Fill that in, working back to the big flower. Like I said, if I do one, then I have to do the other. So I'm going to go working my way up through the center, the outside little echo, and I'm putting little circles in there. Okay. Hi Marty, how you going? Now I've done that leaf here, I'm going to, and I've really pressed that down, which makes the inside of the leaf, which I'll show you in a second, it's a bit hard for you to see right now, makes the inside of that leaf puffy. And I'm going to come around here with like a scalloped edge. I'm going to move that over. It's going to give me a hard time otherwise. And I'm going to give it, it's not going to be a big scalloped edge, just a small one. A little scallop on the top as well, like a little bubble. Right, and then put that down. So you can see that leaf there, it's really getting pretty. Now, this is where we would, and I need to come in here with that, I'm going to travel. So let's just travel down here. That means going over the same one and get to that point, and then I need to just do some of that scallop. Then I'm going to echo that in there. And I'm going to do the stipple, that scratchy little thing, in and around that after that echo. Just to fill in that little area. Gets a bit tough around a trapunto. You get a little bit hard to get your foot in there. And that's because it's really quite high. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm filling in an area between the flowers and the feathers, the leaf to push that leaf forward and push the background back. Also, just a note too, I find it easier to use an open toe foot when doing this because I can really see where I am. Now I'm going to come up here and echo around this leaf again, and then I'll cut off and show you what I've done. Also like to welcome those who are watching in from overseas. The batting I'm using at the moment, Julianne, is, sorry, I can't quite see what I'm doing, is I've just got 2 layers of just a Matilda's Own poly, just happen to be on hand. So if it's not a quilt as such for a human and it's just a piece of decoration or something like that, then I will tend to use the poly. No, it doesn't need any warmth or anything. You can see I've got a bit of a pinch there, but I'll just show you what to do with that. So there's the pinch right there. You just see it in the camera. There you go. I am going to literally stitch that in over the top of it and really stitch it in. Claire, I don't, but I can get these, if you've got a Janome and I know your model of your machine, I can get these for you through Statewide Sewing. And I'm happy to do that for you, and you can just pay them direct. So, and then I'll pop it in with your other goodies. So I just go in there and we work out what you need and pop it in your order for you. If you don't have a Janome, I think they do have some for other brands. I just need to know the details of your machine. But you could PM me if you wanted to. Hi, Cheryl. So I'm going around this leaf now, and you can see it's a long process doing this kind of stitching. And once you start doing this sort of stuff, you'll appreciate some of those massive quilts where they're stitched to death and how much work's gone into it, how many hours. Because sometimes I don't look at the actual quilt as such. I look at the workman, well, not the workmanship, but you know, the work that's gone into it, and just think, oh my God, you know, the hours and hours. No worries, Claire. All right. So, just show you one side of it, otherwise we'll be here forever. All right. So you can see, where is it? There it is. And you can see there's your outside of your leaf. There's the inside. And that's the micro stippling. Ari, getting feet from Statewide Sewing and adding it to our orders with you. Can you please see if they have the HP 2 foot for my 6700P? Yes. Thank you, Michelle. Can you do me a massive favour? Copy and paste that into my PM because I will lose it in the discussion here. All right, so you can see how it's really, you know, really tight, but you can still see those little scallops. I haven't stitched over them. And it just shows you, hi Joanne, I'll have to finish watching later. No worries, Sandra. So you can see it really is very tight. it's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be, you know, really filling and detailed. So that's free motion quilting in the heavy way, like, you know, really stitching it heavy. Okay. I might have to have a go at this Trapunto thing. Oh, Michelle, new habit. Hi, Heather. If you did you get on and watch the Craft Alive video with me? I can't remember, because it's so much fun. It is so easy and it's addictive. If you don't have Dacron, you can use other types of stuffing, but I find that Dacron is the best one because it's even. The thickness of it's even, whereas stuffing, it can be sort of high in one end and low in the other and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. So that's Trapunto. That's what it looks like. That's how you stitch around a Trapunto. You can also break it up, of course, and do all those different lines and everything else. But I think that looks amazing. And in the scheme of things, sorry, I need to get into Craft Alive. Yeah, Heather, go on to craftalive.com.au. Just fold that over and show you. Look at that. How amazing does that look? craftalive.com.au. And I didn't know what area to book for. Oh, really? Okay, so Michelle, yes. Okay, so Michelle, can you message the Craft Alive team? Or I might be able to, if you've had trouble with that, you need to get in touch with them. Might be able to send Sally your link or Brett and get them to organise with you, because anything that's happened over the last 4 days or 2 days will all be in there, and you can replay them over and over again. It's $20 a month, like that's cheap as, and there's like 400 classes, like more than that, 800 classes. It's just huge amount for $20. You know, you'd probably never get through them all, but by geez, you'd have fun looking. And the beauty of going back in, you can forward and rewind and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. That's how you get your Trapunto to stand out and look spectacular. And that's with Dacron and without. Okay, so there you go. All right, ladies, thank you very much. I know I kept it nice and short today on this one. I'm a good girl. So thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time, and those who have rocked in after the fact and are watching from overseas, welcome. I hope you enjoy. We'll talk to you all very soon. I'll be there at 3 o'clock with another demo on, and then after, or somewhere in between and after that, we'll do some sales. Yeah, absolutely, Michelle. Yeah, absolutely, you can join in. Absolutely. And Heather, if you haven't got onto Craft Alive yet, absolutely go do it. If it's worth its weight in gold. And you've got some international teachers and that there now too that you can go in, and there's all different types of craft, so you can check out which ones you want to look at. All right, ladies, thank you very much again. Talk to you soon. Bye.